Got this from Amazon. I was looking around for a nice table to take my Surface with me if I'm out somewhere. I want a place to write on, sit on the ground. You really don't need it, but it's nice to have. And I was going to make one, but for the basic concept of you have a base. So I wanted to see what was out there. And there were a couple different ones. There were old writing desks that were really nice, but something with legs seemed nice. And this here I got for 20 bucks. And again, you get what you pay for. It's pretty chintzy. It'll work as far as what I'm using it for. Drawbacks to it. Okay, well, first of all, good things about it. It's solid when the legs are centered evenly. It's bamboo, so I'm not cutting down a tree to make this. It's dovetailed really nice here. They tried. I'm gonna throw some wood glue on that. That doesn't look too good. And this drawer, which is kind of like a cheaply made plywood. You've got this where you can sit this here. And let's see how I put this. Pull this up. There was a magnet here. I took it off. Why do you need a magnet to hold it down? That magnet is not going to hold that surface down. Anyhow, you got this cheap little piece of, I don't know what you want to call it, this piece of metal. And there's 4 settings. This, I assume, is based off of the model Thomas Jefferson designed for writing on. He had one that would come out like this, and it would fold over, so you had a big document you could read on, or you could set a piece of parchment on. I don't like that. There's a couple reasons I am not going to use this. I might even glue this fast, because do you see this, how it moves? It's stable on this side, but not here. Because of the way that they applied just a piece of a metal on it with 2 holes, it doesn't have the center and the stability. So if you're going to put anything heavy on this, it's probably going to break. But bamboo is strong stuff, so it's not so much an idea of concept of what they were doing, because laminated, you can see the lamination right here. They're trying to make it as cheaply as possible. 20 bucks. You know, I'm getting rusty bolts here. Look how small these are to hold it on. And these things, these legs that extend, they run on a channel. And what you have is just a bolt that goes through into a nut that's, I imagine it's epoxied into the channel here. And it rides this dado-like device that's a groove that it sits on. It'll work for what I want it to. I want something cheap. I want something that's light. And, functionality, they tried doing more than they could. It's quality control. They're mass produced probably. They probably have somebody $2 a day that's sitting there to make these. God bless their heart. They did the best they could. But, okay, my true review. If I'm looking for something like this, what can I do to make it better? Well, for one, I took the magnet out. I can't do much with a drawer here. Okay, I can take this rattly piece of shit out and glue this fast. I can take epoxy and I can run a bead of epoxy or glue. I can put another screw in here, make it a solid tabletop. The more solid I make this on this frame, the better it's going to be. I can go on these dovetails. I can add more glue, fasten them better to where they're going to hold better. I can't do anything about this, how it moves. You will find that if you don't have it out properly, if you have it like this and sit it down, it'll flip right over. The reason is because of this right here. It's rounded. It's a basic primitive concept of a leg that it bucks against this. What the problem with that is, It's because of the way this dovetail is made. When it bucks against it, it pushes out on it. And all you have is a screw. So you want to reinforce this panel and this panel because they don't have the strength that it has on this side. They have a little drawer here, okay, which doesn't give the full functionality the whole way across. I'd be happy without that drawer. I'm not complaining about this thing. This gives it a little bit more here. But if it breaks, I'm going to tell you things you can do to try to prevent that. You could take these screws out, use a larger screw than these right here. If this breaks, you could glue it fast to one setting where you can't close it. The reason it folds down is these untighten and it all folds flat. But you could always go up to a hardware store, get a bolt similar to this that comes out on this end. It still wouldn't lay flat, but you could countersink it a little bit and have a tightening area there with a washer. The way it's threaded into that internal washer, I think, makes an opportunity for it to break. But overall, I want to give it probably, for what I paid, $20. If I made this out of wood myself, say with oak or cherry, I'd easily have $50 in this to make it. And it's bamboo, so it's going to hold up. Functionality for me, I'd say 4 out of 5 stars. If I'm looking at it for concept, I want to put a heavy, like 14, 15-inch laptop, 17-inch laptop on here and have that hold that tight. This thing's going to be wobbling everywhere, and it's going to break. It only has these little tiny hinges on it to hold it with these tiny screws, so you're putting a lot of weight on that. I'm not going to be using it for that. If you buy this, I suggest keeping it flat. Use that if you have to. I wouldn't. My idea for this, okay, now if you buy one, this is another idea, because people are going to be using this to write on or a laptop. You want something cushy to rest on if you're drawing. Take this very simple, what is it, like I don't know, the bamboo dowel, probably metric, but get a dowel pin the same size, 2 of them, and go up to the store, get yourself a foam rest like you would have for a mouse pad. And if it's hard enough, you could put the dowels into it and mount it, or you can even glue it on, or just set it there. Or if you wanted to, you could take a piece of wood and put dowels into it at that angle. I'd maybe come from here. So what you want to do, if you're going to take a dowel, you're going to add an extra like piece of wood on here. You want to go no further than half. So I'm going to go half. I'm going to come out about here. I don't really want to come all the way out here. It's going to move on me. So I'd come about out to here with it, and I'd put the foam in it and center it even. And then when you put it in, you have something to rest your hands on. This is really high, okay? If I'm typing, I'm going to be trying to hit that keyboard. It's not going to work. It harkens back to the old-fashioned writing desks, the 1700s and 1800s. It's nice. I'm not knocking it. I'm just giving people an honest review about it. $20. I wouldn't pay any more than that for it. Go with bamboo, don't go with the wood. I'm looking here at some very thin material here. I'm looking at some pretty nasty dovetailing. That's functional, but it works. And on bamboo, it can take those pressures, it can take that the density. I'm looking at a shelf that, look how horrible that sits. It's not great at all. But bamboo, it works. If you go with wood, you're going to run a risk of deformities in the wood, knots, things like that. So, I'm not even sure what company makes this. There's probably 15 I saw that make the exact same one. It's probably the same factory in China they're making them. Mad props to the people that make them. working hard, and God bless you.